guests, and let's get managements because we are seeing earning season already on a high. We are now joined by Virendra Jeet, who is the CEO of Newgen Software. Virendra, hi, morning, and welcome to the show. And yes, we'll talk about the numbers, but then how should we think about the revenue if we start on that front? You know, the revenue conversion from the current order book over the next 2-3 quarters here.
Good morning, and thank you for having me on the show. And we are predominantly, I think this has been a good year in terms of our deal wins have sustained. We have almost got 35 new logos, which is typically a substantial thing for our product company's business because all the revenue downstream gets accumulated as you acquire more and more logos. The difference has been this time the logos has been more for mature markets, so more subscription-led sales. Our annuity-based businesses have got grown rather than the license-based businesses, which has been traditionally more strong in India and Middle East market for us. I think as the pipeline as well as the order book value has sustained for the year, we have grown in order book above a number above 15% for this first 9 months. So we do think that Q4 and the remaining quarters of the next year should become better. But one thing very important for our business is that quarterly revenue gets also based on a lot of license sales, which has been the growth driver for the company for last 7-8 quarters. And Q3, Q4 last year was a substantial where the record quarters of license sales for us. On that base, in this uncertain market, it is difficult to reproduce the same amount of licenses, especially from India and Middle East. But we are able to compensate that from the deal wins across other markets, where we are able to find a strong traction on many solutions. So I'm hopeful that we should be able to come to our historical growth rates back very fast. But in the intermediate terms, our challenges would in terms of from the order book how to realize the revenue in the same quarter, that continues to be challenged for some time.
Right, Mr. Jeet, hi, good morning. This is Ankita also joining in. Your US growth is rather strong. Which sub-verticals, whether it's banking, insurance or healthcare, which of these is driving momentum for you?
I think in US we have done well in terms of both. I think predominant what we work only is insurance and banking. That's the predominant. And then there is an enterprise segment which is wide. So we got some good deals in banking and insurance in US in last 3-4 quarters. And they have added to the revenue streams in terms of our the subscription sales have gone up, our overall other revenue in the US has gone. So US is firing on two fronts. One is about insurance, which we started last 1.5 year. We started a new foray in terms of getting into insurance journey-led cases in US. Now we have got 6-7 insurance companies, both in health insurance as well as in the other insurances. So this should continue. The pipeline of insurance looks strong. Also on the banking, we have got some large deals. The velocity in banking has not been as what we desire, but I think in next few quarters, we should be able to get more banking. So I would say banking and insurance are the primary drivers for us.
Let's also talk about AI adoption, Mr. Jeet. You know, AI adoption is still experimental for many clients. When do you expect a meaningful pickup, in AI-led use cases now?
You're absolutely right. So, what has happened in the last 1.5 year, a lot of experimentation has started, which has not really converted into business or even significant value for the customer. I think, but the times are changing. More and more customers are standardizing around their stacks, the platforms, and their approaches. One thing is for sure that if you are contemplating any new use case or a digital journey, you are putting AI central to that use cases. For companies like us, we have been slightly ahead of the curve in terms of getting our products ready the last 2 years. And we were lucky to get also some good wins, both in India, Singapore, and other markets, which are AI-led cases. So in fact, we are happy that we have at least 3-4 customers who are live with the AI-led cases. But you're absolutely right that in terms of how does the AI interest translate into the business of AI, slightly some more time to go on that.
Right. Also, the license revenues growth is expected to recover. What will drive this, and what contributions are you expecting going forward?
So I think if you look at last year, Q through Q4, they've been substantially large license revenue quarters. And I think predominant license sales is driven from territories which are traditionally strong territories for us, the India, Middle East, and APAC. I think this is where we found some challenge in the first 9 months of that. I think the funnel has been strong out there. What we are seeing is slightly a slowdown on larger deals of licenses typically, but typically which are to run the business and more tactical, we are able to convert a lot of them. So we are looking at widening the overall funnel and opportunity base so that we are able to compensate for. I'm sure this quarter we will see a kind of a return to a license growth, and then next year we should be able to build on that.
Last question to you, Mr. Jeet. Middle East license deal. Let's talk about that. So, Middle East license deal sizes were down 15 to 20%. Just want to know any improvement here that you can see. Is this purely a timing or deferral issue, or are customers structurally rethinking deal scope due to AI?
Yeah, so I think right now, as I said, if you look at our overall deal win rate has been substantially good, even compared to the previous years. So it's not that the customers are not. What has happened is the wins have come from territories which are typically more subscription led. So the revenue deferment is there out there. While the order book is healthy, we have deferred revenue. As the markets like India, Middle East start recovering a bit for us in terms of our interest and having slightly more accelerated decision making, we should be able to recover the license. Even if you look at this year, we have got substantial license sales in these territories. The only challenge is we are comparing to a historic base which has been the all-time high base of last year. So that's where the challenge lies. But I think this you will see end of this quarter, a substantial part of that would be also the bridged.
All right, Mr. Jeet, thank you so much for taking time out and joining us today on Buy Now Sell Now. We'll let you go on that note, and it's time for us to slip
Thank
into
you
a
very much.
short break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back, and we'll get all your questions answered on the other side. Stay tuned.